Hey YouTube, how is it going tonight? Trying something a little different. Don't know how this is going to work, but we are trying a live stream. So if this is a disaster, I apologize. If it works, cool. Maybe we'll try it again. Um, so main reason I wanted to hop on tonight was to talk about the upcoming NBA bubble games and what I think it is going to mean for um, buying and selling NBA sports cards during this time. Personally, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity to sell during this. Um, I firmly believe that there are going to be a lot of guys that get a lot of run that wouldn't normally get playing time during an NBA regular season. Um, and I think it could spike these guys' values, and I think it's going to create opportunities to sell. And these aren't guys that, me personally, I wouldn't want to hold long term. It's guys I would want to sell to move to purchase guys that I want to hold for the long term. So if you guys have been following the channel, I have been picking up some lower end players that I think potentially have the opportunity to spike during the NBA bubble games. I think a lot of the teams are going to treat these games like Summer League. They're not going to play their main guys. A lot of random guys are going to get run, especially a lot of rookies from this current class are going to get a lot of run. And they might have big games. And if they have big games, I think their card prices are going to get a little surge. And I think for most of these guys' cases, it'll be the most, or it'll be the highest value that these cards ever get to for a lot of these guys. Don't get me wrong. Someone in there could pop and be the next superstar, but I doubt it. Odds are it says no. So the time the sell is going to be now. I think this could literally be their peak. You're already seeing buzz on some guys. Go look at what Bull stuff is going for right now. His prices have shot through the roof on the speculation that he may get a little bit of run because the Nuggets are undermanned at the moment and they are going to ramp up activity for their players because like half their roster isn't in Orlando yet. But on the speculation of him playing, his prices have shot up. If he actually plays well, he has a couple good games, his prices could go even higher. At that point, those are going to be guys I am looking to move. Thank you for the sub, John. Um, so let's talk about some other guys that I think potentially could get some run that I would look to sell if they do. I've opened a lot of 1920 product. I've opened tons of Optic and tons of Mosaic. So I got piles of guys that I've been sitting on waiting for this. So if you have any guys like this laying around, personally, I think this is a good time to move them. Or not quite yet. This will be a good time to move them. So I pulled out some just random guys out of the pile. The Suns. The Suns, odds are not going to make a run for the playoffs. They lose one or two games, they're basically toast. So, if that happens, when that happens, not if, they're not going to run Devin Booker out there or Ricky Rubio out there for 36 minutes a night. They're going to play their young guys, and guys like Cam Johnson, who we see here, Optic Blue Velocity, and Ty Jerome are already starting to get talked up. If these guys play a few games and they play well, strike while the iron is hot and move this inventory. if you're sitting on guys like this. It'll probably be the highest that their prices ever get, because odds are most of these guys are just not going to pan out. We've talked about the Nets a bunch. The Nets roster is devastated. I've been picking up a few of their lower tier guys. I know I didn't get any before his prices shot up, but Karis LeVert stuff has gone absolutely nuts. Karis LeVert's a nice little player, don't get me wrong. Karis LeVert's prices are probably going to go nuts if he puts together a bunch of big games and hits his ceiling. That's the time to sell. His base PSA 10 Prism rookie, I forget what it's up to at the moment. Um, but it's not cheap considering who he is. If it goes up more, like I think it's at least over $100, $150. If I'm sitting on a couple of those, if you're telling me I could sell 2 or 3 Karis LeVert rookies, PSA 10s, or raw, and buy like Ja Morant optic base, like I'm going to do that 10 times out of 10. I'm going to look to consolidate my collection of these random guys and use that money to purchase guys that I want to hold long term. So like we've mentioned the Nets before. Now these are guys I've been purchasing specifically for this because their prices were so cheap. I picked up a bunch of Jarrett Allen lots. Ronius Kirkus, I picked up a bunch of his stuff super cheap on the hope that he gets some run and we can look to move this stuff. OG Anunoby is another one. Now this is a little different because he's on a really good team, but I don't necessarily think he's a superstar, but I think his stuff has a potential to shoot way up, and it actually already has since I bought some of this stuff to go way up in value. Keldon Johnson's another one. Tons of hype has been coming on him already in the pre-bubble workout videos and whatnot. And if, like I've said on all these other guys, if he puts together a few good games, his prices are going to skyrocket. Now, selling Spurs guys is a little scary because they tend to develop talent relatively well. But if you're sitting on a bunch of random Keldon Johnson rookies, right now is not the time to sell. Hold them, wait another week or two, see what they do for the first week or two of the bubble games, and then I would look to move my positions off these guys. And once again, use that money that you make on those guys to spend on guys that you actually want a PC or that you think are good long-term values, whoever that player is. Talen Horton-Tucker. I don't know if this guy's going to play or not, but the Lakers' depth is not great, and I can tell you right now, they're not going to run their starters out there a bunch for the first 3 or 4 bubble games. They're going to run a lot of their young guys out there. They already lost Rondo. Avery Bradley bailed on him. Like, Horton-Tucker could see minutes. I'm sitting on where is it? I don't know where it is, and I don't feel like digging for it. I have a Alex Caruso autograph. Here it is. Is this it? Yes. I pulled this year out of Mosaic Grips. This right now is $40 to $55 for an Alex Caruso auto. Now, he doesn't have a lot of rookie cards, and this is not his rookie, but he does not have a lot of cards in the market. I am purposely holding this for him to get some playoff run. And someone like this, Alex Caruso is not going to be a superstar in this league. If you're telling me right now I could sell this for $60, and if he has a couple good playoff games or hits a game winner or something, it's going to shoot up even more than that, and I can move that for half the price of a, job base or put it towards a Zion or a Luka second year or whatever. I mean, I'm going to do that in a heartbeat. That's just smart, unless you're a big Alex Caruso fan, which maybe you are. But I am viewing these bubble games and these playoffs as trimming the fat off the collection to reinvest in the players that I want to hold long term. That being said, if you have stuff for sale up, and this goes for guys you're looking at like superstars or these random scrub guys, if you have stuff up for sale on eBay, MySlabs, Mercari, whatever you're using, StockX, like at Buy It Now best offers, and they're guys that are playing during the bubble games. If it was me personally, I'd pull all that stuff down, because here's what's going to happen. You're not going to be paying attention one night. Someone's going to go crazy, and you're going to be mad when someone has a monster game while you're not paying attention to eBay, and someone buys out your Keldon Johnson lot that you had at $1 a card, and the next morning you wake up and Keldon Johnson bases are going for $5 a card because he had a 25-point game or something. Uh, John, I sell mostly on eBay, Discord, and Facebook groups. Mostly eBay. I hate paying the eBay fees, but eBay has the widest audience, so you get the most eyes on your stuff. Unless you're moving something extremely liquid, like a Zion PSA 10 Prism or something that everybody wants, Tatum right now, you can move that pretty easily on a Facebook group or a Discord or a forum or whatever. Just always make sure if you're selling off eBay, you buy and sell using PayPal goods and services. That way you are protected on the purchase. If you're buying, if you use friends and family, there's no protection for either side. There's a 3% fee to use goods and services, but it's well worth the 3% to protect yourself if you're buying. And I prefer it as a seller as well. It just causes less issues. I just bake it into my price when I'm selling a card. And if I don't know, YouTube doesn't tell me how many people are watching. So if there is anyone, if you guys have any questions on anything, feel free to shoot. So yeah, I'm going to use these bubble games as a get rid of guys and buy the guys that I want. But yeah, like I was saying, if you have anyone up for sale right now, I would pull that down during these bubble games and kind of take it as a day-by-day basis. I think NBA games are going to be like the stock market on a night-to-night basis once these games fire back up again. And prices could fluctuate wildly from night to night. And I would not want to be left holding the bag if one of my players goes on a run only to be, wake up the next morning and be mad that, your lot's sold or whatever sold. So, but yeah, that's how I'm viewing the NBA bubble. I'm looking to move off these lower end players when they spike. Most of these guys will be the highest their value ever is. And I am looking to acquire guys that I want to hold for the long term. Yeah, John, it is nice to have the eBay protection. So like I said, I do sell a lot of my stuff on eBay. I have sold some pretty high-end stuff off eBay before. I sold a $1,000 Curry off eBay. I sold a $500 Zion off eBay. As a seller, the 10% fees on eBay really suck. When you start taking 10% out of your sales, that's a decent chunk of change, especially on a high dollar card. But you do get a wider net. I sell more on eBay just because there's more eyes on it, for sure. For sure. A lot of Facebook groups and stuff can be a nightmare to deal with in regards to posting cards and people lowballing you, and it's a whole mess. Facebook's a mess in most cases. So, but that's all I really had for you guys tonight. I just wanted to hop on and just kind of talk about what I'm looking to do during these bubble games and how I think there is the opportunity to move off positions on guys. Most of these guys are never going to pan out, and their stuff's going to sell for the most that it's ever going to sell in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So maximize that profit while you can if you got these random guys laying around. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys tonight. We will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.